Welcome to the next session on AutoCAD drawing. In this session, we are going to take up a problem on orthographic projection. This is the question that we are going to solve. Draw the front view, top view and left hand side view of this diagram. So for that, we will first go to AutoCAD and we are going to first prepare our screen. So for that, we have to click on UN, units. Here I'm going to take length type as decimal, precision is 0.00, unit is millimeter. Okay. Next, I will take up LIM limits. The lower limit is 0, tab 0, enter. Upper is 400, tab 400, enter. Z, enter. A, enter. Then I'll use the next shortcut, which is lim check. This value is 1. Then I'll give grid display, which is 2. Once the screen is set, I will switch on the ortho mode. Dynamic input is already on. And you can check here, these options are also on. So I'll have to create layers. So I'll go to layer properties. New layer is what I'm going to create. The first one is the axis line. The line type is continuous. I'll give the color as say red. You can give any color of your choice. Then I'll create the next layer, which is offset line. I'll give the color. This line is also continuous. Then I'll create the next layer, which is say projection line. I'll give this color as blue. Next layer will be hidden line. This color I'm going to give as yellow. Now this line type is not continuous, so I'll have to load hidden line from here. The first one, okay. Select hidden, okay. And the last type is center line. This color I'll give as blue. I'll change the line type, load. Choose the first center, okay. Select center, okay. So once this is done, you can also give the line weight. So the continuous line will have the highest line weight. Axis line I'll give as 0.05. Offset is say 0.05. Projection has to be the minimum lightest line. Hidden is say 0.09 and center is also 0.09. So once these layers are created, I'll close this block. Then first thing that I'm going to do is draw the axis line. So choose axis line from here. Click on line. Now here I'm going to choose somewhere center. So here I'm going to draw. Press escape. Again select line for the horizontal one. See to it that you're not touching the edges of this boundary that you have created. Otherwise it will not be able to draw the line. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose offset line. Then I'll go to offset option over here. It is asking for the distance. So I'll write 10, which is 10 mm we take in the drawing sheet. So I'll select this object, select on this side, enter. Select this line, click on this side. Select this line, click here. Select this line, click here. And press escape. You will use the escape button to come out of the option. Now you can see we have created the axis line and the offset line. Now the color has not been created. So what I'll do is I'll just go to this line, select offset line, press escape. You can see the color has been changed. Suppose if I want to change the color of the rest of the lines, I can either individually select and change by clicking from here, or there is an option of match properties. It is asking for the source object. So this is the source object. Next it is asking for the destination object. So click here. This is also what I want to change and this is also what I want to change. Escape. What you have done is you have created the axis line and the offset line. Now we'll go for the diagram. So you can see here it is asking for the front view. Now for seeing the front view, we need to understand where is the observer. It is always indicated by X. So this person X is standing here and looking at this object. So when the person sees this object, this becomes the front view. When the person sees this object from the top, this portion becomes the top view. And since the person is standing here and this side is the left hand, so here what the person will see from this side is a side view, but because it is the left hand of the observer where the person is standing and seeing, so this becomes the left hand side view. Now what we will do is, while drawing in AutoCAD, we are going to use the first angle method of projection. In first angle method of projection, we generally draw the front view, the place where I'm indicating. Top view is always below the front view. And for drawing the left hand side view, we choose the right portion, that is over here. So front view will come here. This side will be your left hand side view. Here will be your top view. Suppose if you have to draw the right hand side view, then this is the front view. This is the space for the top view, and here we are going to draw the right hand side view. So basically right hand side view is always drawn to the left of the front view, and the left hand side view is drawn to the right of the front view. So this is something which you have to remember. This is the concept of first angle method of projection. So now we will start the drawing. So we will start drawing now. So you can see the observer is here. Now this distance is what we initially measure. So this is 72, 55. This radius over here is given as R20, the outer semicircle. So this is 20. And here on this right side, there is this outer circle whose diameter is 50. So this will be 25. So if you add the entire thing, it will be 172. So what we will do is, we can start with taking the line. So here we have to click on the 0 option. We will select line and we will start from here and we will draw a line of 172. Now if you observe this height in the diagram, this height is 15. So this is what I'm going to choose. The height is 15. Now when you want to draw this line, just align the mouse. You'll have to just move the cursor such that this line is pointing in the top direction. Write 15, enter. This distance is 172, and when you go down, just align the mouse, this is 15, enter and escape. Once you have drawn this, if you check, this is done. Now I want to draw at a distance of 25 this center line. So I will choose center line from here. I'll go to line. From this distance, I want 25. Then I'll align upwards, and this can be placed anywhere because there is no particular height for a center line. Now this line I do not need, so I'll just delete it off. Then if you observe, there is again a center line. From this center line that you have marked, this distance is 72. And again there is a third center line for these holes that you see at 55 from 72. So I'll go to center line from here. I need 72 as the distance, and I'll draw center line again, escape. This line is again not required, delete. Then I'll choose line option again, and from here at 55 I'm going to draw another center line. This line is not required, I'll just delete it off. Now what is the use of these center lines? You want to draw from the front view. If you observe, this is a rectangle which you're going to see. This circle or this hole over here of 520 will be hidden, and when you see from the front, this circle will be seen. So here we can start with drawing the circle, and if you observe, the center of the circle is 75 from bottom, and there are two circles, one is 525 and the other is 550. So I will choose center line and line. Then from here I will draw 75, enter, and on any one side you can just mark this line and escape. This line is double, so I'll just delete it off. This you can click and you can drag as required. There is no specific length of center line. It is only how much is required you draw. So I have just randomly drawn here. Now I want to draw two circles. I will change the line type to 0. I'll go to circle and choose center diameter because I know the diameter of the two circles. So I will draw inner circle of 525. Again I'll choose circle center diameter. This is 50 outer circle. Once you're done with this, you will have to see the next one is a line over here. This is an edge. And at a distance of 10, there is a line here. So what I'll do is, from here we need to draw. So I will go to line from here. I will draw this line. And there is a line from here at a distance of 10. So I've marked 10. I take vertical line. Now if you observe, if you try to connect, it is not getting connected. So I will randomly draw a line here, escape. This is the trim option. So I will remove this extra part. Now these are also something extra, so I can trim them also. So I don't need this, I don't need this line and this line. This is how it looks like till now. Escape out of this option. Then we'll go to this diagram again. Okay, this line is also not required. You can see here, there's no line here. So once you have drawn this, you will have to draw this portion, this rectangle. The height is 35. Outer circle diameter is 45. Inner circle diameter is 20. Now these circles, when you see from the front, they look like rectangle. So I will start from the center line. I will draw this outer end, which is half of 45, so it is 22.5. The height is 35 and I'm going to draw the rest of it. So I'll choose line. I'll start from here, 22.5. I'll go up by 35. This total is 45 and I'll come back by 35. Now why I have drawn above, I'll have to check it is above the surface. And then there is an inner circle here. Let's choose hidden line. Go to line. From here, this distance is 10 and up to this height, escape. Select this point, select the part and delete. Now this one can be drawn in the similar fashion here. We will use the mirror option. Click on this line, press enter. It is asking the first point of mirror line. So this is your mirror and this is the second point of the mirror line. It is asking erase source object. No, because I want to keep the source object as well. So I can draw this very easily by using the mirror option. If you don't want to use the mirror option, you can again draw this hidden line in the same way as I have done for the left one. Now I'll reduce the size of this one. It is not required. This is also too long, so you can reduce the size. Now, if you want to move out of anything, use the escape option. And if you want to move your screen or the selected part, you have to long press the control button and the middle mouse button, and you will have to drag it wherever you want. I just use trim and remove this line, not required. Escape. Now in the front view, 2-3 lines are remaining. You'll have to see here. This is the inner circle. So this is also hidden. So I'll go to line. Again, I'll do the same thing. I will choose this point. This distance, if you check, the inner circle is 20. So this is again 10. Enter. And this height is 15. 15. Enter. And escape. Just delete this line. Then you'll have to go to mirror option. Select the object. Press enter. This center line is the mirror line. So I'll click here. You can click here also, the second point. I will leave it to this itself because it is not required to go up to the end of the center line. And I'm going to click erase source object. No, I want this line as well. If you don't want the previous line, you can click erase the first object or the source object. So once this is done, you have mostly completed the front view. Now you'll have to go to this line. You can see here there is a line connecting. This is actually a rib, this part over here, whose thickness is 12, and this is connecting this cylinder to this cylinder. So for joining that, I'm going to choose zero line. I'll go to line option. From here, I want to connect it to the circle. So if you observe carefully, it is selecting to the tangent. So if you can see the option tangent, well and fine. Or after clicking on this point, you can see I've clicked here. What I'll do is I'll write TAN and press enter. And then select anywhere on the circle. It will connect at the tangent itself. So click escape after this. So now you can see this has got connected. So now your front view is done. This line is too long, so I will just reduce the height of the center line, and I will actually increase it here because I want to draw the top view here. This line is also too long, so I'll just reduce the height. Now if you want to write here that this is the top view, what you need to do is you need to go to text and choose multi-line text. Here you can click on 2 points. So this is the first point. You should roughly select the center of this diagram, the front view. So somewhere here is the first point and this is my second point. Then I will write in capital F dot V dot. This is the front view. Then just press Ctrl A, select the entire text. You can change the height to whatever you want. I will give this as 8. You can see the size has increased. I will just underline this one and click outside. So you can see this is how you're going to enter the front view text. Now next I will draw the top view. For that I will take this image. You can see here when you're looking from the top is what you get when you draw the top view. So first we will draw projection lines. That is the best way of drawing, like we do in the drawing sheet, and then we can continue. Before that, what we can do is roughly if you judge the rectangle in which you have to draw this. Generally, any image is bounded by a rectangle. So if you imagine this is the outermost line of the cylinder. So this length is what is important to us, and this length is given as 90. So the maximum distance in this way will be 90. And along this length, it is this length itself. So if I go to line and I just roughly draw a line here or a rectangle, so this will start and end at 172. This will go down by 90. This will be 172 and this will be 90 again. This rectangle is showing the area in which you have to draw your top view. This is something which you can do in AutoCAD, so that you are able to draw all the diagrams in the correct dimension. I will just extend these lines, the center line. Now, if I have to start drawing, I'll have to first observe where I want to start. So if I start with this circle and the semicircle here, so this is exactly at the center of this entire object. So since this is 90, I will choose center line, choose line. From here, I will draw 45, half of 90, and I'll draw the center line. Escape. Just delete this portion because it is not required. Here now you get the intersecting portion. I will start by choosing zero line, go to line, and if you observe, the dimension is given 520 and R20. So I will choose circle center diameter. This is 20. Again I'll choose center diameter. It is R20. This will be 40. Now I can trim this portion because it is not required. If you look at the diagram, it is a circle, and here this is a semicircle. Now this much is done, so I'll leave it to here itself. Then I'll proceed ahead. If you look from the top, again there's a circle here, 520, and an outer circle of 545. So I will go to circle, center diameter. Again, there is a circle, 20 and 45. We have got R20, R45 here. Then I'll proceed ahead in this zone. If you observe from the top, this cylinder will look like a rectangle whose length over here will be 90 and in this direction it will be 50. So this line I have already drawn. What I need to draw is this 50 line. So I will go to line option and from here I will mark 50 in the vertical direction 90 and escape. Now this line I can leave it as it is. I will delete the outer line because this is not required. This was just my reference. In fact, this line is also not required. So I will remove the outer lines such that I am able to draw this line now. I'll just choose line and connect these points. Now what we'll do is next, there's a circle inside this cylinder. So I will use the projection line option. I'll choose line from here. Again, I'll draw another projection line here. This will be dotted hidden line. I will go to hidden. I will choose line. From here to here will be hidden. Again, choose line. From here to here will be hidden. Now, once this is done, there is another hidden line which is this edge. This line, if you observe, I will have to draw another hidden line. Now, there is another shortcut which you can use. Directly go to line. Come to this point, slowly drag it down and touch this point here and then draw this line. Without the use of projection line also, if you have the tracking option on, you can directly figure out where is that point and you can draw this line. Now if you observe carefully, between this edge and the circle, somewhere here is this line ending, the rib. So what I'll do is, I will go to zero line first, go to line option and I want to draw the rib. Now I cannot start from here because it's a circle. I cannot start from here because I do not know. So what I'll do is, I will start somewhere here because it is in between these two lines. So I will start somewhere here and this rib is 12 mm in thickness. So this is 6 and then this will connect somewhere here, somewhere in between here. Then this will be 12 and here I'll connect to this point. Escape. I'll delete this line, not required. I will also use the trim option and delete this one. These are all extra lines. Also, I do not require it till here. So what I'll do is, I will just escape. Once this is done, what I'll do is, I'll click on line. From here, I will give a distance of say 1 mm and I'll stop. And here also I will draw a line of 1 mm. Again I'll choose line. From here I'll draw 1 mm and 1 mm. Now this is based on the gap over here. It is not that I have purposely chosen this value. You can just see the gap and accordingly you can decide. Next I'll go to fillet option. It is asking for the radius. So click on radius. Give the radius as say 0.5. It should be less than the length of the line obviously. Then select the first object. Select the second object. So you can see here this has got bent. Again you can go to fillet. From here select fillet. First click on radius. Give the value as 0.5. Select this line, first line and the second line, and this is done. So you have drawn the rib as well. What is this edge? We can see this edge which is at a distance of 30 from the rib. From this rib, from here it is 30. So I have to draw 30 and then connect it over here. So I'll go to line option. From here, and you also have to see where it starts from. It starts from, you'll have to start from this edge. So I'll click on line. From here, this is 30. Then you will join here and escape. Again go to line. From here, this is 30. Draw this up to here and escape. Now these lines are not required because they are getting duplicated, so I'll just delete it. Now if you observe the diagram, there is no line over here. So I will use the trim option and I'll remove this line. I'll also remove this projection line in case it creates any confusion for you. Now what remains is this connection. Now this is not connected directly. So if I connect directly, what happens? It looks like this. It looks very weird because no drawing can be connected in this format. This is not the correct way of joining. You will have to choose line. From here on the circle, you should choose the tangent. Now again same procedure, TAN, enter, click on the circle, escape. Click line, you can use mirror for this as well. Click here, TAN, enter and select on the circle, escape. Now you can see here it is not joining at this point, somewhere at the tangent. So use trim option and remove this extra line. Same way here, escape. This becomes your, now once this is done, we will again name this diagram. You can shorten these lines when not required. I will go to text multi-line. Again at somewhere at the center of this diagram, I'm going to mark 2 points. I'll write in capital T dot B dot, control A, change this value to 8, press enter, click on underline and click outside. So this gives you the top view and the front view. Now once this is done, what remains is the left hand side view. So for seeing the left hand side view, the person has to see from this side, from his left side. So when you look from here, what you see first is this cylinder. So this again has a dimension of 90 and the height is going to be 50. So this portion is what I'm going to redraw here. Now if you observe carefully, the side view will have a total height of 75 plus 25. So if you want to draw the bounding box again, that's fair enough. If you don't want to draw, it's your choice. So this total length, sorry, from the side view, this height will be 75 plus 25, which is 100, and you will see this dimension is 90. So this height is what is 100 and this is going to be 90. So this 100 is from here itself. So if you want, you can just click on projection line, select line, and you can project from here in this way. Again, I'm drawing random line length. There is no reason why I'm drawing for these lengths only. You can later on delete these lines because they are projection lines. You can just click over here and you can see you're getting these lines directly. Also, you will require these lines over here. So for that, there is a particular way of drawing. That is, you can take line from this central part. You can remove the orthogonal mode off for some time. Type the distance as 175. Click on tab. Give this angle as 45 and press enter. And then escape. You have drawn this 45-degree line. Now if you use projection line method, you can again project by drawing lines like this. Just put your ortho mode on again. Or if you don't want to draw this complex thing, it is not required. You can just remove this. And as I told you, by distance marking, this length will be 90. So at the start itself, you can go to 0, choose line from this base point. This will be 90. This height is something that you know, 100. This is again 90, and this is 100. So escape, and then this is the distance in which you'll have to draw. So I've roughly drawn this line. You can delete as and when required. Now I'll go to the diagram. So when I see from this side, I can see this rectangle at the top first, whose height is this height, which is the outer circle, so 50, and the length is 90. So this is already taken 90, and this height has to be 50. As you can see here, this is the projection. So you can see this cylinder completely. So I'll just draw this line. Choose line option from here to here. Escape. The top portion is your top cylinder, which we have drawn. Now, next what you see is this outer cylinder. So that is again at this center. So what you can do is you can choose center line, go to line from here. Since this distance is 90, so this will be 45, and you can draw the center line. Delete this one, it's absolutely not required. You can just project this one a bit. So from this height, from the side view, if you observe, you are able to see this cylinder. So these are two lines joining up to the height of 35. That is this line which has to be projected. So if I just project this line from here, let's choose 0 line from here, just trace. You can see this is the same line which has been drawn here. So I will have to draw from here 35, the same point, and from the side view, this distance is going to be 45. So I will start from this base. So I will choose line. This is that same line which I'm going to trace. So this will be 45, so 22.5. The height is 35. It goes to the right. It goes 45. And then again 35. And then join over here. So once this is done, next we will choose this circle. So when you look from this side, again the circle is hidden. So we will have to use dotted lines from this side as well. Now we have to draw this edge which is at a distance of 6 plus 30. So I will go to line option, and at a distance of 36 I will draw this, and this will go up to this height, if you understand, this edge. So I have to draw up to that edge. So once I can trace the edge by just tracing, so this is the point up to which I want to draw. Then again I will give this distance as 72, 36 plus 36, and I will come down by a height of this much, and then click over here. Escape. So now if you observe here, there is a circle inside. So these two lines in the side view will be dotted. So I will choose hidden. I'll go to line, and I'll convert these lines into hidden line. Also, I'll delete these lines because they are not required. So I'll select and delete. Now you can see it is almost complete except for this line which I do not require. So I will just delete this line. Also I'll delete this line. I'll change the line to 0 line. I'll go to the line option and connect these points. Also I will join this point over here, and this line I'm going to delete. I will join it up to this point and join it here. Okay, there's one hidden line over here which I didn't draw, so I'll just draw it. There's a hidden line because this line edge is actually extending inside. So just choose hidden line and draw up to this point. Escape. Again choose hidden line and draw up to this line and escape. So once this is done, You can also delete this access line if you don't need it. This is also not a required line. Or if you require it, you can just keep it the way you want. So this makes your diagram a little more clear. And I also need to mark here, this is left hand side view. So I will go to text, multi-line text, just select at the same height and the center of the diagram as well. You have to type 4 alphabets. So accordingly choose the center. This is L, H, S, D. Just select it. Give this value as 8, underline, and just click outside. Go to line. From here, this is at a distance of 6. Choose up to this point. Escape. Just delete this line. Again, there is another hidden line, which is the circle. And the circle is right up to this point. The end. That is this one. So that is why I will start from here. This is 10 because it is 20. So I will draw up to this point. Escape. Select this. Delete. Go to mirror option. Select the two objects. Enter. This is the mirror line. So this is done. And the last thing to do is to draw this rib. We didn't draw the rib. So the rib is starting from here, if you observe. So from here, the rib is going to connect upward. Again from here, and I'm going to just track it, escape. So these two lines are also required. So now this completes your three views. So you can also give dimensions to this view, which I will show you in the next session, because dimensioning is a different part altogether of drawing. So we will see that in the next session. With this, I end the session. If you have any doubt, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.